If you're a plumber, a tradesperson, this is a conversation for all. So make sure you drop a comment because I want to know which one of you are you a repair person or you a person that strips down and starts to repair something step by step. Today, I was really motivated to make this video because there's two sides what a lot of tradespeople sit on. And personally, I feel that the engineers who can break down something, take it apart, um, work out and diagnostics when it comes to faults, that is a high skill level, right? Because you have to understand how something works. So I was working on a shower macerator, right? And the float kept on sticking. I now know that I need to descale the whole unit, yeah? But there was a thought of mine which went through my head and said, this might be easier to replace it. But everything has its life cycle. And I know that when you're working, you want to make sure you're working efficient as possible, right? So trying not to waste any time while you're diagnosing the job is difficult from the beginning, right? Because you've now got to work out what is the problem, what's the solution, and what's the most efficient way to repair what you're doing. But you've always got to be mindful of the time. The time always ticks when you're on any job. The moment you get there, the moment you get your tools out, you start to assess the job, realize what you need to do, and then action what you need to do, because it's two different things, right? But I've grown up with the generation of plumbers, gas engineers, who are people who can repair stuff, and they hold great privilege and respect for themselves because they know and I know there's only a few people that can work this out. And they're one of those people. So those people are always necessary and needed because there was a time in the trade where it made sense to break down something and repair it because it was a good quality. But today we've got a lot of 5-year warranties, manufacturer's warranty. And these things cover your appliances. And at some point, you get more guarantee from purchasing a new one. Let's say this shower macerator was £250. The time spent on it, let's say we was charging £80. I got to that job at about 11 o'clock and I left there about 3 o'clock. Let me not say £80 because I don't charge £80. It's nonsense. We charge a lot more than that. So let's just say the average price per hour, and this is a specific job what I'm looking at. So let's say it's like 180, yeah. So I was there 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, yeah. The price ends up being 720. 700. Oops, some real butterfingers there. £720, yeah. Is that right? Yeah, £720 for 4 hours. Customer will be scratching his head saying, "Oh, that's a bit expensive," because the unit itself might be under 350 plus VAT, and you get a 5-year warranty. At some point, I start to say to myself, are we doing the most efficient thing that we could do as tradespeople in this situation? I think there's two roads of efficiency, right? There's replacing it, which is one option. Number two, which is breaking it down and spending the time to make it work. But even that repair rate has to be at a lower rate because, like we know, a lot of people are not paying for your time. They're just going to pay for the fix, right? So if they asked you and said, "Oh, well, how much is it to be fixed? It costs this much." Oh, okay. Well, it's cheaper for me to just get it fixed, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. You are right. And you can't really lie. But where do we sit on the fence as tradespeople, guys? Because it's been like a little question which I've been asking myself and bugging myself on the way home on the train, thinking, what's best, man? Because I know that everybody's got different opinions. So I'd like to know your opinions. I need to keep cleaning my lens because I'm actually doing a live from my iPad at the moment. Hopefully I'll get my set back up. My camera's not working at the moment, guys. And we will get a better quality. But for now, it's just this. But my question was to you lot is how do you feel about that? Because I'm going to tell you the truth, yeah? So I told you that I've learned from the old school of plumbing and people who know what they're talking about, right? And even if you don't know what you're talking about, you go, you find out the information. The information is always available online. It's just you being able to diagnose what the problem is and actually working it out and finding out what the solution is. So in case of this job, um, descaler was necessary to descale the system and to make sure that it was operating properly because the float valve does stick and you get something inside there which looks a bit like a diaphragm on a siphon, yeah, which sucks up the water and pushes it up towards the pump. All of that could have scale around it, but it's not actually scale. It's actually shower gel, which um, tends to come out gooey inside the system. So I saw that today and I said to myself, they could have done with some maintenance here. So maintaining the unit and just using it without no maintenance is going to slower its life cycle. But I've known to be the case of when you do open some of these macerators and stuff like that, the seal tends to never be the same again. Even if you get it back on, I don't know if some of you guys have worked on stuff like this before, but you would get what I mean. And I said to myself, what would be the correct thing to do? hmm End of the day, the customer is always right. So asking your customer and saying, giving them the options, what would you like me to do? I personally feel that a lot of customers would want you to do the cheapest option. And the cheapest option with the most guarantee always has to be replacing it. Because when you don't replace something, the guarantee what you give as an engineer or as a tradesperson is the guarantee if it breaks, you will come back and fix it. That doesn't create more work and another sign of avenue because that person might think that you fixed it last time underneath your guarantee and you will do the same the next time. But you would have to come to an agreement and say, like, if it works up to now, it works. And if it stops working, what we'll do is we'll look into X, Y, and Z. But with no maintenance on any appliance, yeah, it's not going to last long. That's just a fact. I'm just going to be honest with people. But I do see it as an old school trait, which some of us learn during the trade, you know, how to strip down a boiler, how to strip down taps properly, change more than just a cartridge. these are a skill set which I think customers will still appreciate you for it, but given speed, given reliability, reassurance, and some type of comfort in there, which will be a warranty basically, you're only going to get that from something what's new. I know there are a lot of tradespeople. If they put a bathroom in somebody's house, they're going to say, "Oh, if anything breaks, the seals, if you have any problems, anything within 6 months, give us a call. We'll replace it. Doesn't matter what it is." Cool, kudos. But you can't always do that on everything, and I know that because I do a variation of everything, and just made me think today that us as tradespeople are put in a difficult place because after you fix something, yeah, you don't honestly know how someone's going to be using or treating that, or if they are maintaining it, looking after it, making sure they're not abusing it with use. And they would always say to you, "It was working before, now it's not working." It's the easiest thing for people to say to people. I've heard that more times than I've heard, "You're a handsome lad." Do you get it? And I'm a handsome guy, so I hear that all the time. But I hear, "Oh, I was working the day before, and now it's not working." Okay, so what happened? So us who are experienced kind of ask that question, what happened? So you have a sequel of events which kind of give you an eye opener to what is the general problem. So I researched what was the general problem when it comes to shower macerators. So this shower is connected to a shower on this side, and it's got a wash hand basin over here. One goes in the front, one goes in the back. On the left hand side, it's got a pipe which pushes out the water and goes over, right? Easy to work. It's got a little float inside it. The float was sticking, but now I knew the float was sticking and I cleaned it, and then it came back on and it was intermittent. So it stayed on for a second, and I thought, this, it wasn't doing this before because I've been there the whole time. I spent a couple of hours there, so it was going, and then it stopped. I thought it's not right, and then it pushed out water out of the top like it was doing at the beginning. So I said, all right, cool. We need to descale the unit, and that's me summarizing from my diagnostics. But I also go on online. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I don't lie to anybody on my channel anyway. I go online and I find out, I look on forums quickly to see what's the generic problem with these types of units, because people put them up. Thank God for everyone who writes on forums and speaks about problems which happen with appliances, and we can all get a general gist of what might be the problem or what we might need to look for. And that was one of the main things. So descaling a lot of these units was one of the main problems. But at the moment, we've got a couple of people watching live. So all of you guys watching live who I can see in the corner there, would you mind doing me a favor while we're watching this video? Would you mind liking it? Because I need to see some more likes on the post, because I always take my time out to have deep, meaningful conversations with people who are part of my community, or even people just come and see it. And I feel that a conversation like this, in a sense of where do we stand today in 2026? Do we replace or just repair? Because the repairing definitely takes a bit of time, like it's on my other phone actually. My other phone's downstairs, so I was going to show you some of the pictures and stuff, but it just made me think, because I work in a lot of high-end places, yeah, um, And generally, the people want the repairs. And if you can fix something, you're kind of like the savior person, if you get what I mean. But that doesn't work in all scenarios of the aspect of the job. Sometimes it makes sense to be the quickest and the fastest, getting stuff done, get out to the next job and keep moving. You guys, I've asked you if you could smash that like button. There's a couple of you lot online now. Just want you to press the button. That's all you got to do. And I'm going to keep asking you till some people do it, people, because when you like the post, yeah, it helps my post being shown to other people. Doesn't show up on your business account, doesn't show up on your OnlyFans business. It just shows up on my page and it says that these people liked your post. So guys, girls, whoever's inside there, just like it, innit? Because it's just a button. No one's gonna see. Your bank's not gonna see. Your missus is not gonna see. It's just a video. I ask for likes, shares, and people to comment as well. So my question to others, yeah, do you think that the repairing of appliances when it comes to heating, ventilation, plumbing, do you feel that that side of the game is finished now? Because everybody lives, and I'm going to say it like this, an Amazon life. When I mean Amazon, I mean just like the app, not the place, in a sense of you could order something tomorrow and it's here. You could order something tomorrow and it's got guarantee, 5 years guarantee from when you install it, no problems. No. What's the no to? This is Mr. Bailey 16163. What did you say no to, mate? I want to ask the question, do you feel that people respect you more as an engineer, as a plumber, as a electrician? Oh, you don't. Replace. 1 second. I'll ask you another question now. Thank you for answering. I appreciate that, man. My other question is, do you feel that customers appreciate engineers, gas engineers, plumbers, electricians who can break down, fault find, and diagnose problems? Or do you think they just care about, is it done? Have you done it yet? Is it fixed? Because that's a valid question as well. You know, sometimes when I turn up to places, that's well, after I come in and out, I had to get some parts today, but the customer was like, oh, well, this wasn't the customer, this was one of the maids at the house. She was like, oh, is it finished yet? Have you done it? I was like, no. And I'll be honest, because I don't like to be rushed when I'm doing something, and I prefer to have full confidence within what I'm saying to people, and I'll test things a few times. Like, I tested that macerator about 4 or 5 times, yeah, and on the fifth time, it wasn't turning off. And when it wasn't turning off, I went back to my notes and I said, do you know what? Got to descale the whole unit. Even though I've cleaned the floats and it's not sticking on the top anymore and pushing water out the top, because that's what happens. It stayed on for a while. So that led me to believe that there was some grease or some grubbiness inside there. It looked quite clean when I did open it, but descaler, I think it's we use one was called something like C100 or something like that. I'm gonna pick some of that up. It's probably gonna take me like more time to get to the job than it is to do the job, but I'm 99% sure that that will solve the problem. So now I'm a lot wiser for the same job. I benefit from it because I am a lot wiser from the same type of job reoccurring or happening. I mean, I could probably split the time in half now. So I learned something from it. But as a customer, or as customers coming to you as an engineer, do you feel that they will think that, oh, I'm going to get this person in again because they spent X, Y, and Z amount of time breaking down this unit, finding out the problems, but also being able to break down to me what the problem was and why it actually happened? Do you think that customers out there in 2026, they want that from us as tradespeople? Like, if you're a tradesperson, I want you to answer that question. Do you think that they find the value within that, within us, and say, you know, because Danny Smith knows his business, I'm going to go to him again? Or the next time they have a problem in their house, they're just going to go to whoever? I want to know, as a question, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you benefit more from... I know that I'm benefiting more from the breakdown, learning what's going on with it, understanding how to be more efficient with it, because there's stuff which I've never come across before. You know, I don't fit macerators in every day. And when you install them, you have no need to go inside them and break them down because you get a warranty with them. So why would I be doing that? Pineapple juice, guys. Keep you hydrated. It's like my second drink for the day. Didn't have much of a break today because today that was one of my main focus when I was working, trying to sort out this macerator. Again, small little unit, you fill it up sometimes, it leaks, you take it back off. First thing, when I put it back together, yeah, the seal leaked as well, which, you know, you need some type of lubricant or you need some washing up liquid to be able to push the seal all the way around. And once you push the seal around, you've got to put the lid on top of it. But you got to understand that seal, or that seal has never really been moved out of place because no one needs to really open them, really, unless you're putting descaler inside them or doing some type of maintenance. Do I think that somebody opened that any time before me? Nah, I don't. I know they don't. But the more times you start to open stuff like that, yeah, what's got like a plastic lid and stuff like that, the catch doesn't always bang back as tight as it should. But I'm going back to it again. I guess for me, it could always be good content, you know. I, I, I don't mind learning from shit I don't know. I don't have no problem with that. There's no shame in my game. Like, when I was on the train coming back, I specifically started looking for people that had done repairs on them. What's the most common faults? When the pump keeps on running, when it does this or when it does that, you probably still got a little bit of sludge in the system and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I do need to just descale it. That is the next thing to do. But it's this understanding as engineers, when you start moving on to the next, like, so I knew that the float valve might be the problem, or I knew that there's two flaps on them, so they're just plastic, and when water comes into the unit, it's a square just like that. So on this side, it's got a flap. It's not like a non-return, it's just like a flap like that. So what comes on this side is like the basin. So the unit will open like that, the water will fill up there, and it will close. Then let's say there's a hole there, and it will go out, go to wherever it needs to go to, right? Same for the other side, which will be the shower. So we got two entries on each side and one on that side. So I got to figuring out how it works quite quickly. And in my head, I thought to myself, you know what? I just need to descale it. It's got to be that. But I've got to get to a process of elimination till I can get to that point. That's my whole thing, guys. Like, today in 2026, do customers appreciate that shit? Do they appreciate someone who's meticulous with breaking down stuff and being able to put something together back so it's working in working order? But we all know
if we touch something, it could leak. That's the fucking cavity about being a plumber. You touch something once, it might be a little bit of pipe work. Something was done up by, I don't know, an elbow or something, McAlpine, just this in the right place. Boom, you just move the pipe just to the left. Yeah, it's going to get wet. You're going to find out. Right, got some people chatting. It's a complicated one, but both really. If you are, if you can explain the job simple and confidently, everything goes well. If you fix it and there's a problem and it's a major disruption, then it brings it on. Yeah, I get that. I get that, bro. That is true. And some engineers can't work out. Some engineers can't. Yeah, that's true. Right. So at times, I would say that the skill of being able to diagnose something is just, it's not for everyone. You know, some people are not tuned on when they come to work. They don't care. You know, like I'm at this point in my 30s where knowledge is power. Because I'm knowledgeable, yeah, girls find me sexy. Do you get it? I know I am, obviously. But I mean, knowledge is power. And the more things you do know, fixing things, how to do stuff, specialist stuff, people have no other choice but to come to you. And that is where some of the power is in the game, I'll be honest. But it's a tricky one. Because just like is it Bailey said, it's complicated. But I want to know, where do we spend more of our time? We spend more of our time trying to repair something than replace something if you understand how it works. And that's a kind of a, you got to know, because if you don't know how it works, it'll just take you 10 times longer. Like I've had I'll give you a simple example before I leave, yeah? So customer asked us to change some taps. Just got cartridge taps in there, quarter turn cartridge taps in the bathroom, right? Tried my 17 O-ring spanner around it, couldn't move it. It was caked in. So my uncle got the angle grinder out, tried to grind it off and just twist it out. He was doing that for about 3 hours while I was changing a shower mixer valve, which was so fiddly. He done it in the end, but they were like £40 taps. Nothing special. Me, I'm not busting my back doing that for somebody. I'm just gonna say to them, it's easier for you to take them out because we can't change the cartridges. It's a £40 tap. Cut your losses. Because if I stay here for 3 hours or 2 hours, are you paying me? Let's say it was £80 a pop. Are you gonna pay me that? Is it worth it? No, it's just worth getting some new taps. They'll look better in your bathroom. You'll enjoy them, and I'll get to scrap your old ones. I want to know what you guys think, because these are always my thoughts and my thoughts only, but my community is for the people who are in the trade and that want to learn about the trade and that are interested in the conversations which we have. So if you're not part of the community, the Mr. London Plumber community, subscribe, like, share, because this is a live which I appreciate all my tradespeople jumping in and answering the question. In 2026, is it worth us diagnosing these problems or just being more efficient and allowing the appliances to have a longer life cycle while replacing them and making sure that they get a warranty from manufacturers instead of, oh, Dave and his son fixed it. It works now. But what if it stops working next month? You've already given them 180. You're gonna give them 180 again? No, you're not. You're gonna be vexed when you call them. That's what you're gonna be. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, drop them bells. Next time I come on and I drop content like this, I want to see you guys turning up. Shout out everyone in the comment section. Big yourself up, never small yourself up, but always make sure you like and share my content, because my name's Mr. London Plumber.